Hi there, this is Linda and I'm back with another Project Life Process video. This is the week of August 8th through the 14th, 2022. And in this spread, I am using the Studio Calico Kit for August 2022. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know I typically use the Studio Calico kits for the first week of the month, but my kit hadn't arrived when I was putting together that spread because I'm pretty much caught up on this project. So I used a different kit for that spread, and I'm using this kit for the second week. This week I had a lot of random photos, nothing really great. In fact, there's only one photo that even has a person in it, and it's not even a straight on photo. It's just random stuff, cat, food, different little stories like that. Some of them I printed as squares just so that I could add a little bit more of the story because I had quite a few photos and things that happened this week. Then I'm going through the Studio Calico Kit, and the first thing I'm doing is selecting the 4x6 cards. I kind of struggled with this kit, honestly. There are some cute sentiments and images, but I think the color scheme maybe just doesn't work for me. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but I didn't really love it, so I really struggled, especially finding a title card. I ended up going with this one because it was really designed to be a title card, and I wanted to use the August wood veneer because I've been using those all year, but I don't know, it just doesn't really speak to me. I also had an empty 4x6 pocket, so I pulled out that journaling card that had the morning, afternoon, and evening prompts, and I thought that'd be great to tell the story of Saturday. And then I wanted to find some other cards to fill in my other 3x4 pockets, and also to go behind that photo of me doing back to school shopping. There were some really cute cards that had icons on them that would be great to cut out. So I'm laying those on top of my photos just to get an idea that I want to remember to do that. This photo of me was a screenshot from the December Daily Instagram account where I was featured, and I wanted to include that on my spread. I didn't have a good pattern card as a backer because the background of the Instagram post was so busy. I wanted it to be on a solid color. So I ended up just pulling one of the cards from the kit that had a sentiment on it. I did actually like the card, but I have so many cards and I knew I wasn't going to use it in the spread. So I figured I should just go ahead and use it because there will always be more products. I kind of struggle too because when I put the pieces on this left-hand side, you can see there's a lot of cards that have solid colors or dark photos. There's not a lot of white. And so that's something I'm going to rearrange as I get to putting the spread together. But for now, I'm just kind of going with it and starting in on the process because I was spending too long going through all of the cards and switching things out. And at some point, you just kind of have to dive in and then adjust from there. I'm going through the cards first that I know that I want to use. I was kind of debating switching out that card, but I ended up sticking with it. And then I selected a card to be a base for this 4x4 photo. And this was a photo of us doing back to school shopping for school supplies. And I wanted to kind of highlight that story, but I didn't really have much to say about it because it is part of the day that I'm going to document on that 4x6 journaling card. So instead, I decided to include the photo and then that icon cut out from one of the journaling cards. And then I dug back through my chipboard organization, and I have a category in there that's for school and learning. And I found a chipboard that says to school. So I thought it'd be fun to write back to school on here. This 3x4 card has these banners, and I thought that these would be really cute to cut out and use as little journaling spots on a lot of my photos because this week I have so many photos of things that kind of could use like a quick identifying note, but not really longer journaling. I thought these would be perfect. So then my plan for this card is to use one of these as a base and then the alpha stickers from the kit to write back and then use the chipboard that says to school. I really kind of wanted to write back to school shopping, but I didn't want to do that many stickers. And I didn't want to add like another journaling spot. So I figured back to school was sufficient. You can tell from the photo what's going on. So these were supposed to be stickers, I believe, from Studio Calico, and I absolutely love the font. They're so cute. But when I'm peeling them off, there is no actual sticker backing. They're just coming off as like paper, I guess, and it's almost like torn on the back. It is still cutting like smoothly on the edges, but the back is just like rough paper that's been like peeled. So I'm having to use my roller adhesive, which is making this take much longer than expected because I thought that those were just going to be stickers. But it ended up, working out in the end, and you can't tell in the finished product. So this week we got a new rug for the living room. And so on this journaling card, I just kind of told the story of why we got the new rug, how we got it, and then swapping it out for the old one. And there's a photo of the living room with the new rug. I hate my living room furniture, but this rug actually makes such a difference. It's kind of crazy how much better it looks in there. And then I have that 3x4 photo of my daughter and the cat on the rug, which I absolutely love because he's looking up at the camera and she's cuddling him. This is a photo of a poster I put up in my cubicle at work. I've recently moved to a new cubicle and I'm just putting everything in there. So I just wanted to identify that I was settling in there. This one, again, like I said, this is that Instagram post from December Daily. I also had a picture of a bagel that I had and a photo of my book. In the Studio Calico Kit, I noticed that there was a 3x4 card that said I'd rather be reading. So I thought that would be a perfect one to hold that photo of my book. And because I had so many photos this week, I decided to print that one out as a square. If you've followed me for a while, you'll probably notice that I tend to do 2 3x4 photos and 2 3x4 journaling cards per side. But because I had extra photos, you can see here there's 3 photos in the 3x4 pockets, not just 2 on that left-hand side. Printing them out as squares makes it not seem so overly busy. For this journaling card here, I decided to write Saturday because I'm telling the story of the morning, afternoon, and evening of Saturday. But again, doing these stickers took a long time because they're not stickers and I had to do the rolling adhesive. I don't believe that they were intended to be like that. It must be a manufacturing error. But I did try looking on the back, and it's not just that they weren't peeling off correctly. There is no adhesive on them. So I don't know what was really going on there, but they do end up looking right. I also realized after I started writing Saturday that I had run out of A's because the sheet only came with 2 of each letter and I'd used an A on back. So what I ended up doing was just taking a V and turning it upside down to make that second A. It doesn't have the line across the center, and the color blocking is on the wrong side because it's upside down, but I actually think it comes out looking kind of fun like that. And then I'm just adding my journaling. I sped it up a little bit more to add my journaling here of what we did in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening on Saturday. It was a pretty busy day. I didn't really have so much to say to fill in this card, but I ended up finding, just more details than maybe I would have explained regularly just so that I could fill in the card. And it was kind of fun to have almost like a little mini day in the life of this day. And I do have a couple photos from the day, the back to school shopping, and then that photo of my lunch. We had ramen, so you can see my ramen photo up there. Let's see, what else do I have in this spread? Here's this photo of our apple trees. We planted apple trees last summer, and so they're just getting their first apples. This is the first year, so they're probably not going to get very many, but we did have the first apple that looked like it was almost ready to be picked, and we do end up picking it. We ended up picking it the following week, so that will be in that spread. But I did have this photo of me with the apple, and I wanted to show that with it in my hand so you could see how big the apple had grown. For this card here, I had decided to use this instead of the one that was pure rainbow stripes, even though I loved that stripe one, but I just needed some white on this spread. And then I pulled over these stickers that I had that were from Planner Kate to create bullet points on each color. And then I'm just adding in some little details from the week. Sometimes when I do this, I do sentences about things that happened, but this week I had just a lot of little things that I got into. This week I got really into watching Hobonichi videos. So I just put stuff like that on there, and how I was I watched Pleasantville, and I got into watching Wife Swap for a random 2 days. So I just put those things on that list as opposed to longer stories. And then I swapped out that other card with a a filler card. My original plan had been to do like an currently obsessed with list, but because I did it on my bullet point list, I didn't need that other journaling card, so I just swapped it for a filler card. And then I'm pulling out these cork embellishments from the kit and just using them to add a little extra texture to a lot of my cards. And then that's pretty much it. Like I said in the beginning, I don't absolutely love how this one came out. I think it was just the kit itself. I kind of just struggled with it. I don't know if it's the colors or what it was, or if it was the photos or something. But this week I just kind of struggled with it, but I'm happy to have another week documented. And I do still enjoy seeing these spreads, even though this one isn't one of my favorites. I do still like it, and I know I will like looking back on it. The last step here, of course, is just cropping everything and sliding it into the pockets and making sure that they fit nicely in there. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and thank you so much for being here.